All right, Taurus, it is a month ahead of August 2024, and I'm not going to lie, there's some critically difficult points in our sky collectively and for each of us. But an event is happening in your sky not seen since 1989 that can give you critical, positive, exceptional circumstances to do with your finances, your financial resources, and also wow, you have a time in which you're going to enjoy a time of creativity, fertility, romance, and even in your case, money, luck, particularly by winning money. So let's talk about how the sky looks for you as a Taurus. And we're going to listen today for your sun sign to with career and purpose, moon for home, body, safety needs, and your rising sign is everything about you. So we're going to go through all three, like you listen for all three, basically, listen to my other videos for each sign. I tend to see that people find their sun sign and their rising sign to be on general most accurate. And by the way, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian, whole sign house. Western tropical astrology, fixed stars and minor asteroids are all about me. And if you want to join my channel by liking and subscribing, please do, because I put out 20 to 30 videos every month, and they're almost all signs always, except for my political, mundane, and election astrology content. The only thing I want to share is my Sky Reader live class starts in September, and you want to get on that wait list because it's 6 weeks with me in a live format. Replays available, evergreen, always access to the content if you get behind on my teaching platform. We have a Facebook group, we have Q&As, we have weekly coaching calls. It's really helping you time your best life using astrology. It's quite affordable. Come join me on that 6-week journey. If you want to sign up and you want to get the discount for early bird notice tuition, please sign up on the wait list below. It's in my description box below under the More button, and you can be on the wait list to get early bird discounts as soon as the course enrollment card opens. Now let's get going and talk about you. You are importantly, and most importantly, a Venus ruled being, as are Libras. And so we're going to start by talking about Venus in the sky in the month of August. Now understand, we're going to go through Mars, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter in the sky, and Saturn, of course. We're going to cover what those planets are doing in the month of August. Then we're going to break it down into the events in a chronological order. So let's start off with Venus. Why not? She is what we call your Lugna Lord, or the planetary body that rules a Taurus sun or a moon or a rising. Now, Venus is moving into Virgo, and traditionally Virgo is her detriment. But in your chart, that's positive because she is flowing to you in a beautiful Earth trine. I was going to show you the chart. I was doing that for the Aries. They got the chart show, but I'm finding it too difficult for me to keep toggling back and forth. So instead, I'm just going to talk to you, all right, rather than try to move the chart all around. So Venus in the sign of Virgo, she moves there August the 5th, and she leaves on the 29th. In essence, she's in your 5th house, which is flowing back to you in an Earth trine. And it means you feel good about it, and you like the vibe, and it can bring you into a time of more vitality, joy, enjoyment, pleasure, fun, romance, and fertility. Please be careful, August 5th to the 29th, if having a baby isn't your practical desire, whether you're the man with a partner or the woman with the eggs, the ovums, So this is what a fertility transit looks like, and it happens every year for 3 weeks, and it's here again this year. And certainly with Jupiter in your second house squaring that Venus, also the god of children, there's a strong possibility this month, once Mercury enters into your 5th house as well, which he will do around the 15th of August. No, sorry, which he will do around the 5th of August. Then between August 5th and the 15th, you are really set up for fertility announcements. Hey, everyone, we're pregnant. So be careful. Otherwise, great developments in entrepreneurial endeavors and creative projects, lots of fun, maybe some travel, leisure, and romantic travel with a loved one happening between August the 5th and the 29th. With Venus down here as well, you may be finding that you're looking at life through the lens of what brings you joy and what brings you pleasure. That is, Venus is the goddess of pleasure. This is the house of joy and enjoyment, but she is in very practical Virgo. So there's a lot of ways in which you're looking for hygienic and healthy ways to be filled with joy and pleasure. Why do I say healthy and hygienic for you guys in the month I just mentioned, this month of August the 5th to the 29th? Because she's also in a whole sign flow to the goddess of health and hygiene and preventative health, Hygeia, in your first house or in the sign of Taurus. So you're looking at practical pleasure and healthy joy and enjoyment. And when it comes to your romantic and sexual life, this looks an awful lot like asking your partner to get all of their testing done before you jump into the sack with them during August the 5th to the 29th. Moving on, we have Mars moving through the sign of Gemini. Gemini is where he will be until he leaves the sign of Gemini around August the 4th, September the 4th. Mars in the sign of Gemini is full of intensity around decisions and choices and actions you might need to make in the month of August to do with your earnings and also your dietary style. It's in your second house, right? So money, earnings, resources, action plans, decisions, and momentum. You may also cut spending habits. You may reduce a loss of money by being more willing to eliminate things you don't need. However, sometimes Mars gets into a spending spree when he's moving through the second house, and you may be inclined to spend more money than you have. Just be a little bit careful. And that's particularly true during the month of August, because Mars will bump into Jupiter in the middle of the month. And that can look like a very positive development financially, especially with Venus in the house of money, luck, and good fortune at the same time. So you may have a boost of sudden good fortune financially descending upon you, possibly increasing your savings, earnings, and resources as well. And that likelihood of that boost is in the middle of August, around the 15th of the month, give or take a few days. Now, Mars ends, cuts, and severs, and he ends things like, enough. Decisions are made, A or B, take your which road you want to travel. And there may be some major decisions going on this month around food style or anything you ingest, because Mars also sextiles the North Node and Chiron in your 12th house of undoing. It looks like some of you may be really cleaning up dietary style or food style, or ways that you put substances in your mouth that aren't good for you, or in your nose, which is the second house. And you're making some turning point momentum, because Jupiter blesses this and makes it auspicious, easy, and very successful if you're trying to go into a detox or cleanse, or even more of a rehab mode, maybe for some of you. But you're just cleaning up your food act or your ingestion of harmful substances, perhaps, that are your own self-undoing during the month of August. And you have a lot of momentum to achieve that with great success. Finally, Mars is also going to come into some very challenging energies with Venus later in the month, which could put you up against some major decisions to forego pleasure, forego joy of pleasure in order to be Jupiter in your second house, more authentically healthy. And also, I could say you may have some intersections of challenges with a child or romantic partner, and some heated intensity around the middle of the month of August. We'll time that out a little bit more when we get to the blow by blow of the daily events, or the dates of things are activating. When we move into the story of course, Jupiter, where Mars is going through, it was last in 1989. Last in 1989, that Jupiter and Mars collided together here in Gemini. This combination is positive for the most part. It's kind of like you could be overconfident, overambitious, but you can also be commander in chief. And the ability to Jupiter bonify or bless Mars, like I'm born with this in my second house, you could take some financial risks and the risks will win. Right? Speculative risk, financial risk in this energy. Don't listen to me for financial advice, but that does allow you to take some gambles or risks with your money. But on the other hand, it can't just be decisions and actions you're taking that completely, really increase your financial well-being. And some of you won't remember 1989 because you weren't an adult, for example. But if you were an adult, what was going on financially in 89 when Jupiter and Mars co-joined here? There's a bit of a damper on it with a square to Saturn, but we'll cover that in a minute. Jupiter has been in your second house of financial well-being and resources and savings, and also connected to Pluto in your 10th, earnings and career success, ever since the month of May. And he'll be here until next June. And you're just going to find that things to do with face, teeth, food style, financial success are going to be happening in a positive way for you. End of story. Simple and positive. No downside that I can see there. Now, what I'm going to do is put my fan on because it's blisteringly hot, and I'm going to blow some air on me. Whew. as I record this video on whatever date it is, my Patreon gets this early access ad-free content, and I'm recording for them just a day ahead of the public because I've been traveling. So usually they get this a week or two before you guys, and this they're going to get it like a day before you. But that's not normal. It says I've been all over Europe and traveling, and I just got back to my home. All right, with unstable internet. Okay. Next. I talked about Mars and Jupiter and Venus. What about Mercury? It's complicated. He's got a very complicated retrograde in Leo and in Virgo, but let's give you the basics. Leo and Virgo are active skies for Mercury for you during the month of August, which means this is your fourth house of homeland, property, real estate, and your domicile. And also your fifth house of pregnancy, children, money, luck, speculation, gaming, romance, sexuality, and creative projects and entrepreneurship. Mercury is going to retrograde, so it's things from your past. I need water. Oh, give me a second. Oh my God. I'm jet lagged as all hell. I'm sorry, guys. That was painful. I am so jet lagged from travel, and I'm just trying to get this out for tomorrow. I'm recording 12 videos in like a day and a half, 2 days, in 2 days, and it's a lot of work. Please like and subscribe and support the lot of work that I'm doing. Thank you. All right, I just put my Biden video out today, and I can't stand when people comment to me about politics. This is astrology. It's predictive forecasting. It's not about my politics. People unsubscribe because I say Biden is not going to win the election. I don't think he's even going to be on the ballot, and they unsubscribe from me. Like, you know, don't shoot the messenger. Really, don't shoot the messenger. I don't know. I can't take it. Sometimes people are so like, honestly, I don't know what to say. I really don't. Okay, back to you guys. Oh my God. So what was I talking about? Mercury, the complicated Mercury narrative. Okay, let's get into it. So Mercury is, as I said, retrograding here. So let's talk about that. As we begin the month, all right, he is going to be stationing retrograde on August the 5th from Virgo, where he sits at 4 degrees. He's already ingressed there by the time the month begins. Mercury retrograding in the fourth house is opportunities, news, information from the past, connected to things to do with rental agreements, tenancy agreements, the house of the mother stuff from the past coming forward, childhood stuff coming out of the woodwork, people from your childhood coming out of the past. This is something you're going to be experiencing basically August the 5th through to August the 15th. Then on the 15th of August, Mercury slides backwards. Oh, hang on a sec. I apologize. This is jet lag. I'm so jet lagged. I've been traveling from Europe to East Coast to now to the West Coast. So back in time, let's go back. Starting on August the 5th, he's retrograde in your fifth house. Therefore, from August the 5th to August 15th, lovers from the past, children that you've been out of touch with, creative projects from the past, are coming into your present moment through emails, phone calls, and text messages. August the 5th to the 15th. I apologize. August the 15th to the 29th, he retrogrades in Leo, and he'll station direct on the 29th. This is where home, property, real estate, rental contracts, money from your mom or dad, or, you know, because money is, or legacy wealth is down here, things to do with your childhood and people from your childhood reemerge through those emails, texts, phone calls, or intersections between August the 15th and the 29th. Okay, let's break down the month bit by bit. Let's start at the beginning with August the 2nd, when Venus squares Uranus. This is going to be the first part of something else that takes place later around August the 18th and 19th. Why? Venus and Uranus mean some unexpected surprises or developments regarding money or love stories. Venus in a square to Uranus is always going to bring something you don't see happening, but where is it coming from in the sky? It's coming from fourth house, first house matters, property, land, real estate, rental contracts and agreements. That's where Venus sits, squaring Uranus. The shock and awe is also Uranus in Taurus, which is about freedom. So you may be rebelling against something or wanting to have freedom or reinvention. And this Venus square from your fourth house may be offering up some resistance, maybe from somebody you live with, a female in your home, or just somebody in the home itself, resisting your desire for freedom and reinvention. But also, we'll note that later on, August the 18th and 19th, Mercury does exactly the same thing, exactly what Venus did. And they may be interconnected. And so this is, again, Mercury, not Venus. And it can be issues to do with phone calls, emails, legal contracts, documents, papers, marketing and merchandising issues. Mercury square Uranus, August 18th, 19th, can be some issues to do with paperwork or documentation regarding land, property, and real estate, especially if you're trying to sell a property with Jupiter in the house of possessions, sextiling this Mercury in your second house. You may indeed be able to sell a property or negotiate a deal or buy a property, but there's some kind of having to go back in order to accomplish what you need in order to go forward. So there's some surprising developments as they go back and clean it up August 18th and 19th so that you can go forward August the 21st. Now, let's also point out that August the 4th, there is a new moon in Leo at 12 degrees. It opens up a beautiful opportunity for new beginnings to do with your home. And often new moons in the fourth house can be literally a new home or a new beginning, not just in the 2 weeks that follow, but in the 6 months that follow. And with Juno, the goddess of agreements and contracts, in your sixth house, for many of you, it may be a rental contract or agreement as well. And we're looking at that gateway of possibility opening up from the full moon, new moon of August the 4th. Give it a couple weeks after to see evidence of it, but also up to 6 months after, as every new moon will complete itself fully in 6 months. On August the 6th, we have the sun sextiling Jupiter. Now, Jupiter and the sun are fine together, and this combination is very positive, and we don't mind it at all. This is the sun moving through the sign of Leo, and this is where Mercury is also going to be in his action plan there for you, right? I mentioned that later on. That's where Mercury sits. So, to me, to my mind, this is something like solar activity in the fourth house can do with your father figures from your family of origin. Mercury is news, communications, and conversations. You're not going to have the conversations yet. You need to wait till the middle of the month after Mercury gets there, which is after the 15th. But some kind of sun in the fourth can be focused on father figures or men in the home or males in the home. And the positive energy is to Jupiter. So financial positivity coming through the sky regarding home-based matters may not be about you, may be about people in your home, legacy wealth, family of origin, father figures, okay? Positive financial developments for you in the window, probably financial, with Jupiter in your second house of finances, coming through your story around the 6th of August and the 7th of August. I like that a lot for you. August the 8th, Mercury and Venus co-join together. Now, we know, as I mentioned earlier, that Venus has moved into a new sign on August the 5th, which is the sign of Virgo. So we see these two planets, the messenger and the goddess of love and money, forming a union, all right, a connection of perfection around the 8th of August. And this tells me that something good is happening for you in your romantic life, your fertility life, pregnancy, anyone, your money, fortunes, and luck, your creativity, etc. Around August the 13th and the 16th, we have a Jupiter-Mars conjunction, last seen in 1989, which I've already mentioned. What is going on here? Quite possibly what you're seeing is some kind of combination that looks like an expansion of high-powered action or decisions being made August 13th to the 16th about your money and finances in general. Also about a hard-ass stop with great success to do with any self-undoing and self-sabotaging dietary or addictive substance that goes into your mouth or nose August 13th to the 16th. Yet around the 15th to the 24th, coinciding with this, is a square to Saturn. Now, Saturn is in your 11th house of friends and allies, and Saturn is constraining and restricting already. A lot of you, Taurus, is already thinking to yourself, sun, moon, or rising, you might want to get some lean out, like prune the tree of friendships, especially if your friends are manipulative, addicted, alcoholic, escapist type people with Saturn up there. A lot of you are really looking at who your real tribe is, and you may have some falling out or difficulty ongoing August 13th to the 24th with what you would call your social groups and social groups of belonging. The other way is there may be a tempering or a sort of smoothing out of some difficult turbulence and intensity regarding financial matters and your career, salary, earnings, and wages. Just a little bit of that sober-minded Saturn pitching down to help out somehow, although you may feel like, wow, this is slow. I wish it was my money was going into my savings account faster. But Saturn has sagacity and wisdom, and he's doing exactly what you need. And when this is all happening, when we have this intensity, August 13th to the 24th, we also will have Venus coming into a square to Jupiter and an opposition to Saturn. That's going to be on the 18th and the 19th of the month. In essence, Venus is saying with Saturn, you know, this is kind of the love is hard, money is hard. Finances and money and love are hard, right? Venus is in your fifth house of romantic love, or issues to do with children are hard, or issues to do with fertility feel daunting. And it's square Mars, Jupiter, the god of children. If you were unexpectedly pregnant, which could happen with your sky, it would be a hard decision having to be made 18th and 19th of August, or for your children as well. On the other hand, you might come into a crucible regarding matters to do with things you eat and ingest that bring you pleasure, and you're coming to a turning point through 11th house peoples. 11th house is clubs. I don't know, your club could be anything. It could be AA, it could be, you know, the church, it could be a group you join that everybody's pretty darn, you know, well, sober-minded, and you need to get down with that, and you need to kind of square away with what Jupiter wants, which he wants to increase your financial wellness. Now, you may have a roadblock as well when it comes to some financial matters in your career. Saturn squaring from the 11th, but this won't last, and Saturn is bringing you more sagacity than you can imagine. So if you have a slowdown in your finances, is what I'm saying, between August the 16th to the 20th, this is about coming into more structure around the way money flows to you from your career endeavors, so that you can have a long game that works rather than a short arc of success and later failure. So don't resist the energy. On August 21st to the 24th, you have a Venus, I just did that. You have a Mercury also on August 21st to 24th. That's when you have Venus square. On August 21st to the 24th, you can tell I'm jet lagged, right? I'm going to get up at 8 in the morning, start recording with 2 cups of coffee tomorrow. I'm recording this on a Friday. August 21st to the 24th, Venus is squaring Mars. Now, the cosmic lovers are having a battle. Right now, we already saw Venus square Jupiter on the 18th and 19th. Now, on the 21st, she squares Mars. It's kind of all one story, but this can be tense, heated dialogue, conversations with a lover, romantic partner, or child. This can also be financial stress with a romantic partner or a child. This can also be needing to cut, sever, and end some kind of financial situation with those types of people. And also, we move forward and same time, August 21st to the 24th, we also have the energy of a Mercury sextile Mars. Mercury's trying to make things work out. This is a really good time for changes, decisions, and actions to do with what you do in and from your home, or things to do with real estate, property, and even rentals coming straight into your awareness, August 21st to the 24th. Backing it up just a smidgen, a full moon is happening on August the 19th, 20th, depends on where you live, at 27 degrees of Aquarius. And that's your 10th house of career. And there's a fullness, a ripening, a harvest, a completion of career matters that look very successful, but endings. Some of you will be ending a job, ending a career path. Some of you will be seeing fruitfulness and fruition and fertility up there as a big light shines in the top of your sky. A full moon in the 10th house is often felt as you're shining a light in your reputation sphere, and it usually can feel quite good. The only difficulty with this full moon, and we'll be doing a deep dive into the full moon, of course, is its intensity in a square to your freedom-loving Uranus in the first house. But rather than me try to go deeper into that now, please like and subscribe so I can give you some tips for how to use that full moon and not lose yourself in an intensity of, of that time frame, all right, that's going to occur on the 19th of August at a couple of weeks. And we move forward to August 26th and 7th, the happiest part of our sky. August 26th and 27th, Venus is trining Uranus. This is love and money, expansion, growth, luck, opportunity, and joy. This is happening with Venus in her relationship to Uranus in a flow called an Earth trine from Virgo. And now this could be happy surprises around becoming about your children, happy surprises about fertility and pregnancy, happy surprises about play, fun and pleasure, leisure travel. These are feel-good moments for you. And so you're kind of delighted, and you're exuberantly delighted with the surprises that may be emergent for you. August 26th and 27th in fifth house matters. If you're an artist, creative, or entrepreneur, these are also positive developments in those areas as well. And August the 29th, to finish up the month, Venus does duke it out with a retrograde Neptune in your 11th house. This is like pleasure and joy versus, addictions and self-sabotage in the house of community, friends, and large group events. It may just like say no to the rave, or say, I don't think so. My joy is more important than my pleasure. If I remember, I'll put a link in my description box just for you guys about the pleasure joy called After the Party. I'll put it in my notes for you. You get my poem After the Party, just for you, because I think you'll relate. Now, one of the things I would say, because money luck happens anyway in the fifth house where Venus is, and the shock and awe is being delivered to your Taurian doorstep, it can be some unexpected financial success or luck or winning money as well. Again, that was August 26th, 27th. But this cutting away on the 28th, 29th, as Venus opposes Neptune, is like you just want to cut out those people that you know and those groups that you belong to, where the whole point is manipulation, illusion, delusion, Neptune, addictions, escapism, and you're looking for something deeper, and Neptune's rolling backwards, and you're looking now squarely at those friends, groups of belonging, and things you do socially that aren't good for you, and it's not what you really want. And Venus is saying, let's be practical and find the solid joy of life. And so you're probably just saying no to something. I don't think so. Around that August the 28th and 29th, I am not going to that rave. I'm not going to that, Molly concert or whatever you guys do that you shouldn't be doing, or with whom you shouldn't be doing it. All right. That's it. I am done. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Everything about me is in the description box below. And if you want to join my Sky Reader class and get aboard, check the description box below for that as well. As I mentioned already, that is going to start in September. It's 6 weeks long. It's live with me. The wait list just gets you early bird notice so that you can use the early bird discount, which lasts for about the first couple of weeks of enrollment. Then it goes into the next 2 weeks into the regular price. And I don't ever change that. If you miss it, you miss it. So sign up at the description box and don't miss a thing, right? That's the gist. Thanks, guys. I'm going to end my video.